day for the Morans, and they go exploring somewhere every week. Their purchase of an annual San Diego Zoo membership is an opportunity to visit the San Diego Zoo or the Wild Animal Park whenever they feel the call of the wild. Bob's occupation provided plenty of adventure. They lived overseas, as you know, and at one point moved 5 times in 15 years. As you know, they travel extensively, and Pat says one of her most memorable trips was to the Galapagos Islands. Pat was been fortunate to serve, and this is a real interesting, another interesting tidbit, but she served as park commissioner as a board member for a foundation that helps to oversee 2,000 acres of open space in Walnut Creek. She also trained and served as a lay hospital chaplain in Woodlands, Texas. And she says all of her experiences have been a great privilege, and it's certainly been a great privilege for us to have Pat Moran as a member of our branch. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, friends. Thank you.
And Sally. After Sally retired, she joined the Westminster Fountain Valley Huntington Beach branch. Boy, that's a long title. I thought Mar-Leucadia was that. The gourmet diners and the play reading group welcomed her with open arms. And very soon she was elected as Tech Trek director and used her past engineering work experience to introduce the engineering design process to the Tech Trek campers. Later at the fall STEM general meeting, she asked each camper to tell how she applied that process to the courses that were taught and how Tech Trek has influenced her future. She was involved with Tech Trek for 5 years and was still leading it when she moved to San Diego. That was in 2018. By 2019, she realized she needed to make some friends in our area, and that's when she transferred to our branch. As COVID was just starting in 2020, she became in charge of the AAUW fund. She said when she joined that, she had no idea what it was all about. But in true Sally style, she formed a team which included Ginny Spence, Bobby Carnes, Arlene Von Schleider, and many others to create a very successful online auction. She also sewed 25 microwave cozies to be included in the auction. As Sally became co-president with Pat, she said that her many years in aerospace management trained her for this challenging role. But none of this would have been possible without the expertise of the board members, which she feels are the backbone of our organization. Thank you, Sally, for all your hard work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
That
Pat.
was lovely.
Okay.
I think that's my cue to go to the next slide. I was busy
I think
typing
so.
in the chat.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay, sorry about that, ladies. I was just so inspired by Sally and Pat and Lorraine. And anyway, so here we are. So Pat, this is your cue.
I have been so fortunate to be able to work with such an amazing group. I would like to recognize and send deep personal thanks and appreciation to Linda Quimby for finance, Teresa Kappen, recording secretary, technology and e-blast, Karen Dorney, membership, Bobby Carnes, marketing and publicity, Lorraine Fall, newsletter and Tech Trek, Judy Verbanis, Tech Trek, Norlin Diversity, DEI, college scholarships, Jane Sanders, AAUW Fund, and Nancy Lombardi Coors, parliamentarian. Thank you to each and every one of you. It's not often that you have an opportunity to serve with such a talented, generous group. We are truly better together. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. And now it's my privilege to honor our outgoing presidents. On behalf of the entire branch, I'd like to say thank you to Sally and Pat. And you've already heard a lot about them, but they have truly gone above and beyond for the past 2 years to make the branch run smoothly and to continue to support our mission, in spite of a global pandemic, I might add. And that includes Sally's bridging the gap for Tech Trek when there was an unexpected vacancy, and Pat's doing the same for public policy. And in addition, they are just a joy to work with. In honor of their service, we present them with their past president's pins. I was going to say which look a lot like the one I'm wearing, but some of you may not be able to see me right now. So, but also I'll arrange to get those to you ladies very soon. So thank you, Sally and Pat, for all you've done, and let's give them a virtual hand.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you.
I think my goal in making friends has been achieved.
We're glad, because we are so glad to have you here and be our friend. So,
Thank you. Love this branch.
so I'm going to turn the mic over to Norlin for nomination, selection, and installation.
It's my pleasure on behalf of the nominating committee, Madam President, and I'm speaking here to Pat, who has been our acting president. I'm not excluding Sally at all, but she's an unexpected delight to have her here. So I would like to present the nominating committee's candidates for our board. Linda Quinby has accepted graciously to be our president. Vice President Carol Waltz, who is going to be kind of a president intern in the way that we have reorganized things. Judy Foland has very graciously accepted to be our finance, I was going to say minister, which permitted us to have Linda assume the presidency because she's so responsible. She didn't want to leave finance empty. And then we are delighted to welcome Christine Oster, who has accepted to be our recording secretary. So we would request, Madam President, that you conduct the voting on our candidates.
I will call for the question. All in favor of the slate as presented? Say aye, please, or raise your hand.
Aye.
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 Are there any objections? Hearing none, we have a new executive board. Congratulations.
Yay!
Yay!
Wonderful people. Thank you for accepting.
Well, Norlin had asked each of us on the executive board to introduce ourselves. Now, you probably know me pretty well by now. I've been a member since 2009, probably. A member here, but I've been a member of AUW for over 40 years. And in my former life, I was a manager at NASA. I enjoyed genealogy and travel when we weren't having a pandemic, we traveled more. And I'm just looking forward to working with a great board. So Carol Waltz, can you introduce yourself? Is Carol there?
She's muted.
Unmute. Carol, unmute.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes,
I
yes.
never can figure out what's mute and what's unmute.
You
But
will,
in
you
any
will.
case, I'm a newbie. I'm just completing my first year. And I could give you a macrocosm of my life. I've had a very varied career of many different well, shall we say, careers or emphases or but I think I want to share with you today just a microcosm of what's gone on for me for the last couple of years. I had a very successful career writing grants for a nonprofit organization. It was just the peak of my performance, but at the same time, I had a supervisor and a CEO who were not supportive women. It was so stressful. I think there was some competition going on there, but I'm just not that hard to get along with, but I tell you, I was miserable in that situation. So what happened when I joined AAUW is the clouds lifted and I had nice people to be with and professional and caring. And so my life has changed. And let's see what I do with the vice presidency. I will certainly be that intern that is part of my title. So I'm happy to be here and thank you all for embracing me. It feels so good to be with brilliant women who are empathetic and caring. So thanks for that.
Thank you, Carol. I'm so pleased to have you on the board, and we are so glad that you came to us and that you're in our circle of friends. Judy Folan could not be here today. She had a prior engagement, but she's been treasurer before. In fact, I was just serving as treasurer finance for the past year, and she did the immediate 2 years before that. So there won't be much of a learning curve, which is why when we were kind of struggling to find a president, I said, okay, well, if I can get Judy to come back on, then I will do the presidency. So Judy very graciously agreed to do it. In fact, she said she talked it over with her husband, and he said, oh, for Pete's sakes, just do it. So we're really pleased that he is supportive in that. So for recording secretary, Christine, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Christine Oster. Am I on mute or am I okay?
You're good. You're good.
You're great,
Okay.
Christine.
So the master's I got at Michigan was in education, counseling and guidance. And I went and was a college counselor in Orange County for the community college district for 5 years. And that's when I found AAUW National and joined. So I've been a member of National for 50 years, but not local because I was getting married and having children and moving and getting remarried and having more children and moving. And a friend of mine had gone right to Intel from UCSB, and he found out I was not happy being at the college, and he recruited me. And so Intel moved my family to Santa Clara, and the rest is history. I was there 28 years. I was so fortunate to be able to be there when it grew. I got there when they weren't even $1 billion.